What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Thank you guys for watching, as always, to Say Hey Plays, the second episode of Say Hey Plays, second day of baseball of the 2022 season, and hitting second, a familiar face if you were at Publipalooza, a familiar name if you watch the Public Sports Radio shows. He's got good vibes back there. Brewers hat, as he always does. It's our friend Dabby Cab. Dabby, how are you doing?
What up, guys? What up, man? What up, Jose? How are you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I took kind of a crushing L, but we will talk about that here shortly. It was a good first day of the baseball season. I can't complain. I believe we went 5-2 on the show, or I went 5-2 on the show, plus 3.7 units, so not bad. 3.07 units, I should say. So don't hate that. Don't hate that as a first day.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, let's try to keep it going because, as we say, marathon, not a sprint. So I'm not gonna get too excited about it. But let's just say I was given a quiet little "let's fucking go" to start off the day or to start off the year nice. So
backstage we were talking, and I told you, I'm not gonna lie, it was just the first pick on Brewers yesterday, but God, I got real frustrated. I get my phone just a little spike,
Yeah, I mean, it happens to the best of us. I opt for just slamming my hands on tables and such. And when the Red Sox blew their lead and losing extra innings to the Yankees today, I was a little frustrated. However, that loss was quelled. I put it on Twitter. If you follow me at Jose Bouquett, you'll see my tweets with all my official plays on there. Let me bring it up again. I had Boston money line plus 145, which obviously took an L there. Felt great about it the whole time. Exactly what I thought was going to happen. Garrett Cole looked susceptible early. Rafael Devers took him deep. Not surprised. And then the shadows kind of crept in. It seemed like all the hitters just could not see the ball at the end of the game. And, it turned out to be a poke the ball over Yankee Stadium's wall.
It's such a crackerjack park, man.
And yeah, two unicorn home runs, as I've learned the term is now. I think the Twitter tracker is called "Is it a dong?" So shout out to that Twitter. It shows where the home runs are and how many home runs it would be in different parks and such. And those obviously both those home runs by DJ and God, who was the first home run by? I can't even remember now. Oh, it was Giancarlo, but it was it was a missile. Sorry, it's Mike. It was Mike Stanton. And it was a missile. So 2 home runs that only would have been home runs in Yankee Stadium. And they win the game. So I'm not bitter because I hit a 1-1. I hit the Red Sox team total over 3.5 at minus 105. And I'll explain the rest of our plays coming up here. Cab, did you have any plays to start off the day?
Yeah. The first play, I had the Red Sox first 5 plus a half a point. I think it was minus 110 was the juice. Let me pull this up really quick. And then
that was a casher, I believe. They ended up going tied. They were leading the whole time, but I'm glad you had the plus a half.
Yeah, that half a point saved it. I don't know what it was. I had just the way those, man, when people get those little opposite field line drive home runs in the Yankee Stadium, I just had this feeling, man, something wasn't right. Because, I'm actually if I had to pick a team that I was a fan of, it would be Boston. After you play in college and know people playing, things kind of change. But when I was a kid, like, my dog's name was Boston. So, like,
good.
Yeah.
But I tried to name my dog Fenway, but she refused. She did not want it, and I had to accept that fact. But I appreciate that, all the kind words for the team total over I took, I should say. So that was nice. That was the only saving grace of that game. Not worried about it. I probably will go back to the Red Sox again, but we'll see. I think it'll be an interesting game. Any other plays for you this morning?
I had the Phillies minus a half a point first 5. So
this is one of the shows. I started the show. I'm in the studio, obviously, if you can tell, and I don't have the TV going right now, so I'm feeling a little naked. I don't know the scores right now, and I will check the scores here in a second. But I saw Kyle Schwarber lead off home run, of course. Shout out to him, former Red Sox. He does what he does, man. He's going to be great. He's going to be a great player for them. And shout out to everyone watching in the chat, by the way, real quick. Cash Action Bets getting in here early. A little 4:15 action, a little 4:13 action, 15 minutes before the show. He's live betting Baltimore plus 125. We'll check how that goes. Kenny Rogers talking about the Phillies Moses Moody, tough loss last night for a Padres fan. I was kind of written in the stars, but Sean Manaea tonight will be a fun watch.
Man, Darvish was good last night, man.
No hits,
Yeah.
no hits. If it was a regular or say middle of the season game, maybe he goes out there longer, but trying to still get warmed up. And the Padres bullpen is right there with the Red Sox bullpen right now, which is seeming pretty shaky. Isaiah B, Nasty Nate, Jimmy the Bag, thanks for watching as always. Hello, Dad. Nice to see you. Nasty Nate, Boston Nick, Benjamin Mills, everyone watching. We appreciate you guys as always. Dab, I think it's time to get into the baseball right quick. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? One thing I wanted to say first. Can I say one thing real quick?
Of course, you can say whatever you want.
San Antonio, I mean, anybody who went, they know how much of a blast it was. And I just want to say you were awesome, man. You were always like going back and forth, getting people, getting things ready, man. You're busting it, dude. And I thought it was awesome to see you working. And also like I've enjoyed listening to you talk baseball. I was saying this to you backstage, but when I say baseball, I'm not talking wins and losses, man. Like the sport and the game when it shows when you talk about it.
I appreciate that, Cab. Of course, Kenny Rogers actually put a nice quote in there to describe Publipalooza for me. My life went to crumbles. I was a mess. I was half a man, but we survived. Everyone was happy. I picked up people, and everyone got home safely. A little sick, perhaps, for some of us, but
yeah,
safely. So that's all that mattered. It's going to be a good time, and thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. Hopefully, the people in the chat and the people watching will enjoy our baseball conversation here. And Cab, by the way, I'm glad that my father, Jimmy the Bag, is watching right now because he's the one that gave me this idea. He mentioned to me that, oh, yeah, you're signing up for 200 days of straight work, going for everyday baseball season. I said, yeah, of course. I mean, I work every day as it is now, so it's not a big change. But I decided, let's commemorate it. We're gonna start having the tracker just like Cal Ripken Jr., and we'll have a say hey counter, and we'll see how many days in a row we can go before I break down. Maybe have a mental breakdown. Who knows? It's gonna be a fun time. But with that being said, let's start off with the second game of this series, the New York Mets versus the Washington Nationals. Max Scherzer makes his debut against his former team, against the guy that he was actually kind of traded for. Josiah Gray on the mound, too. He was a part of the trade package. Mad Max, I mean, obviously that guy, minus 165 for these Mets, around plus 140 for the Nationals. Sure, those are good prices. I mean, personally, I don't have anything on this game right now, Cab. I'll let you know that now. I think I would like to see Max go out there and pitch, and dominate first. I want to visually see that he's still good. I see the progression in the Mets offense too, obviously. Right now, I think confirmed lineups according to RotoWire is Brandon Nimmo, Marte, who went up 1 for 5, Lindor 1 for 5, 3 Ks. Yikes, but still back in the lineup. Hopefully he bounces back for Mets fans. Alonso 2 for 4 and got hit in the face yesterday with a ball. Look at like a champion, right in the shoulder, hit him in the face. Thank God for that little like G thing that Michael Stanton created. So whatever, thanks for him. He went 2 for 4, came out of the game, but it seems to be fine. Alcides Escobar, Robinson Cano, 2 for 3. Well, how about it? On the
he doesn't age, does he?
No. He went to the Dominican. He got his suspension, went to the Dominican, played some winter ball, whatever. No problem. Shout out to Robbie Cano. Keep getting your money. Mark Canha, 2 for 3. And Jeff McNeil puts up a 2 for 4. And then McCann gets a break, and they bring in Nito for the Mets. Nationals lineup real quick. Obviously, like I said, Josiah Gray pitching. 2-2 last year, by the way. 70 innings pitched with around a 6 ERA, a 6 FIP. So not the best, but a rookie, so we could kind of expect those numbers. Cesar Hernandez, a 1 for 4. Juan Soto, who literally does what Juan Soto does and what I kind of expect him to do this whole season. Walk, home run with the bases empty, of course, solo bomb in a meaningless game. And he does what he does, And I think that was one of the highlights of the night because that bomb was in fact a bomb. It was hit.
He smoked that ball, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. He's built different, as they say. Yeah. Nelson Cruz in there, 0 for 4 last night.
I hate that guy, man. Don't say his name.
Yeah, he's tough for Rangers fans.
Just catch the ball. There's 2 outs. Are you scared of the fence with 2 outs in the World Series, bro? Like, I will never forgive him for that ever.
It's tough. It's tough. He's played so long that people forgot that happened and that he was the cause of that, and they forgot that he's suspended for steroids once upon a time. But we
Man,
don't talk about that. We don't
look,
talk about that.
I'll tell you this right now. Everyone is on fucking steroids. Okay.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about
Okay.
that.
I'm just letting you know right
Hubert
now.
Ruiz, 2 for 4, top prospect comes up. Also a part of that Max Scherzer trade. Good debut, 2 for 4, like I said, and threw out a runner. So not a bad day in the office for him. Yadiel Hernandez makes his debut. Mike Franco 0 for 3 at third. Alcides Escobar and D. Strange Gordon, one of the best names in baseball, in center field. I talked for a long time here, Cab. Is there any place for you here?
Man, so I'm rolling with Max. I do have the Mets in the first 5. I was trying to find this and I got distracted. Is it his left leg, his landing leg, or his right leg that he's got the hamstring issue in?
I'll look it up for you right now.
Okay, and if you can't
Max
find it, no
Scherzer.
big deal. I should have found that out.
No,
You know,
don't worry. I love, what I love about this show and about sports. It's it just says tight hamstring. I was about to say right, but I love how
that's
I
why I
can
can't
just
find
look
it.
up Max Scherzer hamstrings and it just be a casual, no problem Google search that I won't be put on a watch list for. So and I love that.
Well, because I before I made the play, I probably should have figured it out because I was sitting here thinking about it right before we came on, and if it's his driving leg, that might be an issue, even if it's just a little tweaked. But if it's his landing leg, it's not a big deal at all.
Well, there you go. Moses Moody comes in with the right drive leg. You would know a thing or two about drive legs, huh, Cav?
Yeah. See, well, I'm on the Mets regardless, but I hope that's a little bit more of a problem than if it was his landing leg.
Yeah, I agree with you. Obviously you push off that thing and you get their power from it.
Mhm.
I would hope that Max Scherzer knows his body, the 37-year-old. I think
Yeah.
he's a freak too. I mean, if you saw him, I think his first opening there, his first spring training start, everyone's like, just you're going 3 innings, whatever. He goes out there and throws 5 because
He's one of the best pitchers in baseball, man.
yeah,
He just is.
I agree with you wholeheartedly,
Yeah.
and I don't have anything on this game. Did you say you took Nationals? Or sorry, you took the Mets. What did you take?
I took the Mets. It's minus a half a point in the first 5. And I could tell you too, like a little bit on why. Gray, I think it was Babano that was talking about it. He does have some control issues, and when he has those control issues, he can get flat. And I can tell you right now, 99 miles per hour, and I know he doesn't throw that. I'm just saying, speed doesn't matter if you're flat. Nothing matters if your ball is flat. It doesn't matter how hard you throw. It doesn't matter where you throw it. If it's flat, it's going to get tagged. And
Absolutely.
this Mets team are they going to be the same old Mets? We don't know yet, but they're not supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
Another thing, he did have one start against the Mets last year. He gave up 6 earned runs, 7 hits. Good news though is it's a new Mets roster. Like I was just kind of saying, I want to say what they had 6 new players on it out of the 9. Maybe that's not the exact number, but I think it's close.
No, I agree with you. The only way I would play this is Mets. Obviously, I mean Max Scherzer on the mound is kind of hard to bet against him. So I agree with you there. And what kind of juice did you get on that, Cap? Because as I'm telling all my guests, I'm doing a good job, or I'm trying to track their actions. So we'll see how that
Gotcha. Minus 115.
All right, minus 115 for Cab. Thanks for getting on the board there. And by the way, that was Say Hey Counter yesterday. We finished show number 1. Now we're on to show number 2. Here we go.
Hey,
Day
you
number
said
2.
names in baseball. How about Big Meat Pete? Because I had to
Ooh.
say that, because that's one of the best nicknames in baseball, right? And last year, he hit 262 with the 37 bombs, but everyone remembers that rookie season. My bad for going back. Let's go.
No. I love it. I love Big Meat Pete. That's what I will only recall it. That's the only thing I'll be calling him now instead of Polar Pete. Big Meat Pete, it is. So thanks for that. And by the way, thanks everyone in the chat for watching. Turnsy, appreciate you. Fuck the Red Sox, of course. I know a lot of Canadians now, and a lot of Blue Jays fans. I think there might be a rivalry starting to brew there. Again, Moses Musi, shout out to you. Paco Healy, what's up, man? Appreciate you. And Mets
Great
first 5
chat.
minutes and a half, automatic there. Isaiah B. And look who it is. Dutch Boy Fresh dropping in for some
Parking
baseball.
lot pimping, bro.
Yeah, thank you, Dutch. Appreciate that as always. Thanks for watching. You're the man. Rangers, Blue Jays. Season debut for both of these guys and these teams, I should say. John Gray, the Gray Wolf, the ace of middling staff, sure. Jose Barrios. A lot of people's dark horse Cy Young pick. I'm not a big Jose Barrios guy. Pitched the same after he got traded. I looked it up. So we'll see how the Blue Jays pitching coach, who, shout out to him, noted drunk driver, but very good coach, so he still has a job. Noted good coach, so we'll see how that goes with a full off season of him. Well, I wouldn't say full because of the lockout, but you guys know what I mean. Right now, we're getting these lineups for the Blue Jays. They've got the boys. They've got Springer, Bichette, Vladdy, Teoscar. They've got little Gurriel over there, Alejandro Kirk, who gets a pretty surprise start. I would not expect Alejandro Kirk to be their DH there. Matt Chapman hitting pretty low in the lineup, but a force, obviously, defensive wizard. His bat is going to be, I guess it's going to feign in comparison to the other guys, but he's a great player, one of the best third basemen in baseball. Danny Jansen back there behind the plate, a good catcher, and Kevin Biggio at second base. For the Rangers, a new team, basically. And they needed it.
$500 million worth of new.
Yeah, hey, you got it, spend it.
If they don't win this season, they need to sell the club.
Well, unfortunately, I think they will not be winning this season.
Yeah, and they're not going to. How do you spend $500 million and not get any pitching, man?
Yeah, I don't understand it. Too. It's pretty crazy. They've got backyard Brad Miller without batting gloves leading off, so shout out to him. He's more of a man than I'll ever be. Marcus Semien, one of the new additions at second base. Corey Seager, there's his boy right there. Probably the best middle infield in baseball. You could argue. We'll see how they do this year in a ballpark that kind of just saps offense, but we'll see how it goes. Mitch Garver, another addition. I think it's a little weird that they had all three additions hitting up those three spots, but why not give the fans a little bone?
They built the park for pitchers and didn't get pitchers still. At home, the Rangers' home park is built for pitching.
I do like the park too. It's a big park and it's a bit of a walk, unfortunately. So Nate Lowe, first base. Adolis Garcia getting at center field, the only bright spot for these Rangers last year. Cole Calhoun in right. Andy Ibanez, third base. Shout out to Raul and Willie Calhoun. Probably maybe the first time ever, two Calhouns in the same lineup. So Cab, I again don't have anything here. I believe the next game is the game where it is the next game from there. So I lied there, but it's going to be a fun game to watch these Blue Jays. That's really why everyone's going to be watching. See how Vladdy does. See how this offense does. Maybe a little Matt Chapman in there. What do you have on this?
So, I got two plays on this one, actually. I went with the no run in the first inning. And I know.
Mighty balls.
I know, man. I know. I know. But I got plus 111 on the juice on it.
Sure. Yeah.
And my other play on this was Toronto in the first 5. I think that was negative or minus 110 on the juice. And I kind of look at it just like your team total with the Red Sox. If somebody scores in the first inning, I think it'll be the Blue Jays, which will help my cause. I know that's kind of I don't want to say loser attitude right there, but
yeah. No, I know what you mean, though. I had the same way. I mean, I bet the Red Sox team total over, thinking that it's going to be a decently high scoring game. And if they lose, I get my money back for the bet and I get a free shot at a plus 150 essentially. So no, I understand what you mean.
Yeah. So, also real quick, I talked to Mike, not Flush Allen. Shout out to him. When we were in San Antonio, and I didn't know, this was just a theory. I said, I feel like in the first 2 days of baseball, if somebody was to blindly bet the no run in the first inning, that it would be pretty profitable. And he came back to me the next day and said he looked into it. And in the first 20 games he looked into it, 16 of them had no run in the first inning last year. And then yesterday, I want to say it went 6-1.
Yeah, no, I dominated actually yesterday. I mean, I'm an addict to these no run in the first inning bets. I think it's fun. By the way, shout out to Victor, a second producer here, my right hand man, watching from the outside, and we're actually putting a show behind. So shout out to them for being patient and
Yeah,
waiting.
thank you guys. Sorry, see, and look, I'm bad about ranting. You can tell me, hey, shut up and come back to the game or something if you
Hey,
ever need to.
no, we're good. We got to break this baseball down real quick, and that's what we do here. So you
Yeah.
got the no run in the first inning, and then what else did you have, Cabby?
The Blue Jays in the first 5.
Oh, is
I
that
think that first no run in the first inning is like 3 and 4 today because, like I said, I'm tracking it for the first 2 days. So, not the best today, but 6 and 1 yesterday and 3 and 4 today.
yeah, I mean, you got to take those rolls with the dice, huh?
Yeah.
And can you tell me the juice along with both of those bets for me?
The no run in the first inning was plus 111, and then the first 5 on Toronto was minus 110.
All right, beautiful, Cap. Thank you very much. All
Mhm.
right, we're on to Cincinnati. And we've got Revere San Martin on the mound versus Charlie Morton and the world champion Braves. 0 for 1, the Braves are this year, I should say. A pretty surprising game. Max Fried went out there, fucking shoved, looked amazing for the first inning. On Twitter, everyone was like, all right, give him the Cy Young. Just give it to him now. And
Yeah.
and then it kind of falls apart with a Reds offense that's not supposed to be good, and they kind of put it together. They I hate to say it, Crystal Warren, shout out to you, but the Reds look kind of fun. So far. Revere San Martin, a top prospect for them, pitched 11 innings last year, 10 strikeouts, 2 earnings. Why not? The Braves, obviously the big favorites here. Charlie Morton, a stud animal. Who knows how long he'll keep pitching. He'll just keep getting 1 year, $20 million deals, pitch for whoever, go in the playoffs, throw his curveball, and just dominate. That's what it seems like he does. He is. It's ridiculous. 14 and 6 last year with a 3.4 ERA and a lower FIP. He had a 3.18 FIP in 185 innings pitched for, I don't know exactly how old he is off the top of my head, but I'm going to call him a 40-year-old man. He's an animal.
Probably close, like 37 maybe. I don't know either, but yeah.
I mean, he's a great pitcher. And I'm going to say this: I don't have an official play on this game either, but I would lean towards the Reds. Honestly, I'd lean towards the Reds. Take the big plus money price there. And here's the simple reason of it is I picked the Braves to have a not an aggression year, not a down year, but I don't think they're going to win the division this year. I don't think they're the best team in the division. That's my hot take for the year, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But I don't think that they are going to be able to rebound off losing, your franchise corner piece and Freddie Freeman, not just offensively because you've got Matt Olson on the field, but locker room vibes. He was the cornerstone, the pillar of that locker room, that guy, and now you've got to fill that void, and it takes a little bit to finish. I mean, Ronald Acuna saying that he didn't like Freddie Freeman 2 minutes into the season, that helped my case, and losing obviously does, but I still think they're going to be a great squad. I mean, it's all just conjecture at this point. What do I know?
Right. No, man, you cap the game and you cap the team, and
yeah, exactly. We'll see. We'll end up seeing what happens, but yeah. I would lean towards the Reds here in an early matchup. Give San Martin, a little roll of the dice, see how it goes. And by the way, the way we say the Reds are here, and Crystal Warren comes up and here. So shout out to Crystal Warren. We appreciate you as always. Go ahead.
So I was checking out Sharpie, his show that he did earlier just a little bit ago, Prize Picks, and shout out to him, man. He's a great baseball capper also.
Yes, I popped in there earlier too. I love Sharpie's. I love how Sharpie caps baseball. It's much different how I cap baseball, but it's just as good, honestly. There's not a one way to do it. It's great. Love him taking bong rips and ripping dabs on air. Hey,
a little bit of my style. No, but so one thing I'll say, what's crazy is because I had been working on my notes for this show for us on what I wanted to talk about and touch on, and I'm sitting there listening to Sharpie like 30 minutes ago. I'm like, oh, I gotta, because I'm working out all these times for the shows and trying to catch all the guys. So I had to go back and watch it late, and a lot of what we had was the same. I feel like he looks at it definitely from a pitcher's angle, which is what I'm gonna do, and what I do also. I didn't have much information on San Martini outside of numbers. Like, I hadn't seen him pitch really.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that Sharpie talked about, so again, shout out to him because I'm taking this from him. I haven't seen it, but I'm going to touch on why. Yeah, but I'm going to touch on why it's important. He said that he hides the ball well, man.
Yeah.
And when I was texting you earlier, when you were hating on Garrett Cole, which I agree with,
Thanks.
Garrett Cole, man, you could if you watch him when he pitches, he's so out with the ball the whole time. You can just see it. And just a little bit of hiding a baseball can make an 89 mile an hour pitch seem like 100, and vice versa with showing the baseball. And a lot of people don't realize that, but the amount of time that a hitter has to pick that pitch up, I mean, it makes all the difference in the world. So if this guy really does hide the ball well with the funky delivery that he was talking about, I'm not betting on him because I haven't seen him, but I'm not going against him right now either.
No, I agree with you. I think this is a stay off spot. I think these high odd games are tough to bet right now. You kind of have to wait and see if these teams are for real. So, and especially the pitchers too. You really got to see.
Yeah, that's
I'm personally going to move on because I don't have anything on this game. I think, I don't know. I don't want to say this to Crystal in the chat, but I said that the Reds were kind of exciting, but generally Reds games can be kind of a snoozer. San Martin and Molly are probably the only reason why I'll be watching. And Joey Votto on field interviews. That was a great interview he did yesterday on the field. And I hope he does get that gold tooth because he'd look great with a gold tooth. Next game I have action in here. And by the way, I think actually, no, I forgot to mention because I thought we were going to talk about the Mariners game. I've got Mariners money line. Forgot to talk about that. I've got Mariners even money.
Good. Look, let me check.
Yeah, 2-1 in the top of the 6th. So I forgot to mention that. Good for me.
There you go. Good for you, bro.
Angels Astros. We cashed yesterday. I cashed actually both double up here. I got a first 5 and a full game Astros. Ohtani actually pitched well. It's just Framber Valdez, man. He's really good.
Yeah,
really good. And the underlying numbers, or I guess the predictive numbers, said like, man, maybe he'll step back, whatever. Man, it doesn't seem like it, huh? I saw the kind of what I guess the stats were referring to. I should say this, and this is kind of a stretch by me, but Mike Trout at the plate hits a ground ball to the shortstop, Jeremy Pena. Pena comes up, kind of lackadaisical, whatever, throws it. Mike Trout beats it out. He has a 30 feet per second too, so elite speed. Shout out to Mike, but that's a ball that Carlos Correa and his fucking rocket arm zooms it over there, and I'm pretty sure that, and Jeremy Pena had another error, I think, too, along with that. So there's your issue right there when you don't have your superstar platinum glove best defender of the year behind you. It's a little bit of an issue, especially for Framber, who's a ground ball pitcher. But it did not matter. He didn't give a fuck last night. He dominated. He dominated, and it was great to watch. And I really like watching him pitch. And I think he's going to be a bet-on pitcher, honestly, throughout the year. And he could be a sneaky Cy Young candidate. Doesn't get the strikeouts as much, dominates them. Today, Jake Odorizzi versus Reed Detmers. A little change. It's supposed to be Pablo Sandoval, I believe. Well, he's supposed to be him, but he gets scratched. Reed Detmers gets the call.
I mean, big for him, right?
Yeah, Reed. Hey,
throwing him out to the wolves right now.
hey, Reed. Good luck, buddy. You're facing one of the best, I could say, organizations. I want to call them the best lineup because they still have to prove that they are the best lineup without Correa, but one of the best organizations in baseball, the development powerhouse. And I took the Astros money line again here today at even money. Jake Odorizzi, I don't like. Obviously, he's going to be the worst starting pitcher on the Astros. However, I just think that the Astros bats will come alive. It's a small scoring game. I believe it was a 3-1 final. I'll double check. But yes, it was 3-1 final. And I think that their offense will come alive here today. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if they come out and they put up a 6th spot on a young Reed Detmers who's still trying to get his feet wet. First at bats or I should say first pitches in their new season's always a little nervous for younger pitchers. So I took the Astros even money here, full game.
I like that. So, I don't have a play in this game, but what I leaned heavy on was the over. One of my good friends, Caleb, shout out to him. Me and him were talking. We talk baseball more than any two grown men should talk, but we're always talking baseball. And he's on the over. I would lean over here. This is a gross pitching matchup. You basically said it the way you're breaking it down. Now, we don't have a ton to go on for Detmers. He was good in the minors. Has not been good in the pros or the majors since he came up. I'd lean Astros also, like you said. I think maybe even a team total over for them, and then also I'd lean Astros team total over, and then over in the first 5 or the over full game. I think he's getting tossed out to the Wolves right now.
Yeah, and let's say I chose the Angels to make the playoffs this year, and I think Reed Detmers is going to be a good pitcher, but the Astros are the kings of this division. You know, the Mariners will compete, I think, but the Astros are the kings of this division, and I think they go out there and win.
It's a 22-year-old kid, man.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough spot. It's a tough spot. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Astros team totals right now in Bovada. 4.5 at -125 is just a little too much for me. And I'm actually going to look at the first 5. You can get a first 5 team total at 2.5 for +105, which is something I actually like. I don't think I'm going to have enough cojones to add it officially, but I do like both of those plays there. And if you do bet a team total like that, you can completely eliminate the Odorizzi factor and what the Astros pitching can do to here, because we say that the Astros have one of the best lineups, organizations in baseball, whatever you want to call it. Angels are the same way. Angels are the same way, and they've got all 3 of their guys. Rendon was this close from hitting a home run yesterday and screwing me. So let's not forget about Tony Rendon. Let's not forget about those guys. I did take the Astros, and I think, you know, the more I think about it, I think by the end of the show, I wouldn't be surprised if I took the first 5 team total over 2.5. Cab,
that's such a good play, man. That is such a good play.
Oh, and by the way, Turnsy, good question for the pitchers. I guess I consider myself a pitcher of the show. Cab, you saw the pitch comments, what they're calling it. They're just doing a little beep boop bop. And apparently, I don't know if it's like a speaker or what on the pitcher's hat, kind of tells you slider, low and away.
Right.
And they just, it's speeding up the game. Honestly, it's going a lot quicker, which I enjoy. But what do you think about it?
Honestly, man, like I hate getting signs from a catcher. Anyways, I mean, how are they shaking it off? Just say no if they want to shake it off still.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. It would
Yeah,
it'd be really funny if they just couldn't shake off anymore. It's like, well, you kind of stuck with it.
like I know that this is gonna make me sound like, you know, really slow, but counting to 5, like catching like a 2 and a 3 or something like that, and thinking, okay, slider out. Like when you're in the middle of a game, that shit, like I don't like that shit. Like
I don't either. I didn't either. I mean, I'll agree with you. And the whole thing, you gotta, and if you fucking you miss it, you gotta step off. You forget the signs, you gotta get them out and visit. So I like it. I like it. And I think, you know, Cab, if we're gonna go into the conspiracy corner here, we're getting off of baseball thing. I wouldn't be surprised if this is what the Yankees had that is in the letter that they don't want released. I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like this, and they were just doing it before everyone, and it was called illegal.
And now they're just like, everyone do it instead.
Yeah, now they're like, all right, we need to get everyone doing this. So now when the letter's released, we won't look like the big assholes.
Yeah, but when the Astros do something, they're the only one who did it, right? Like nobody else was doing that.
We'll see. We're not. I know that everyone sees my Red Sox underwear when I talk about the Yankees. So I think it's going to be interesting. And by the way, Moses Moody brings up a good point. We're about a year away from coaches giving calls in an earpiece. And I'll tell you this: in the college game, UTSA game, the catchers have literal like Bluetooth headphones in, like they're fucking in the with the Secret Service. They've got the Secret Service things, and the coaches just got a little walkie-talkie. They just just talk them right there.
What the main complaint I see that people give about it is they say, "Oh well, how are catchers going to learn to call a game and this, that, and the other?" Man, catchers don't even call the game in college. The coaches do.
Yeah, no, that's like fact. And Moses Moody's again being a coach. Moses, you would know this. I think if I was a coach, I'm not going to trust some 18-year-old kid to call this game. I'm calling this game. No. I'm calling this goddamn game.
So I hated my catcher at Tech. I can't tell you. I guess I should chill with that, but I can't tell you how many times I'd shake him off and he'd give me the same damn sign. I'm like, motherfucker, did you not just see what I said? I said no. Like, golly. And then I had to stay with him in Canada, and he was all on steroids. See, I'm throwing him under the bus. Just like everyone else, man. I'm telling you.
No one do the research and find out who Cab's catcher was at Texas Tech.
No one do that. You'll see multiple catchers, and I won't say which one.
I would hate to see that from the chat. I I hereby disavow anyone that does that. Moving on to the last game of the card. It is Moses Moody's San Diego Padres versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Upset of the month, upset of the week so far, I guess I should say. Upset of the day, season, wherever the hyperbole we're going to use. Diamondbacks come back to win. The Padres bullpen just explodes. Just like, well, I wouldn't say that just like the Red Sox did today. I would be exaggerating a bit, but just a bad performance. Is it going to be this bad this whole year? We don't know, but Seth Beer takes advantage on beer night or beer day. I mean, that was the fucking most obvious thing ever that was going to happen. Even the announcers were like, it would be a real shame if so-and-so walked and got out, brought up Seth Beer on National Beer Day. And everyone kind of knew it was going to happen. So
that's just one of those things, man. It's like if it's in the air with baseball, like if you get that feeling, it's that shit is about to happen. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely. And by the way, Cap, I've been calling Moose Money for something Moses Moody. I think Moses Moody's a basketball player, and I don't know why I've been calling you that. So shout out to you, Moose.
Is it? I thought it was Moose too, man. So it's
shout out to Moose Money. But Craig Stammen was supposed to be that stopper, and I think he came in and it was wild pitch. Gives up I think the tying run, and then actually no, it was bring him within one, and then immediately gives up the home run.
Man, wild pitches and balls and walks, man. I just it makes me as a pitcher. It's like that makes me so sick, man. That's like one of the few things that when my teammates would do it, I didn't want to talk to them. Like, especially if I like had started the game and then they come in and fucking walk somebody or give up a wild pitch run to tie the game or blow it. It's like, man. Throw strikes, please.
Yeah, I don't, man. I can't get into it, man. I can't. If my pitchers start throwing balls like that and giving walks up like that, it makes me sick. Jake Diekman kind of has the same issues. He was walking a bunch of people in spring and did it today in the Red Sox game. So it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a real challenge, real deal. And Moose, I'm going to keep calling him Moses. Moose is in here basically agreeing with us. And by the way, he also mentions the 3-batter rule sucking because Suarez wasn't ready. I mean, I cannot with the 3-batter rule. It's okay, but I as a lefty specialist kind of guy myself, I wish it wasn't a thing, but it helps with pace of play.
My 2 pet peeves, he said, make them earn it. Like he just said, you can't give people free bases, man. You just can't do it. And then on the flip side of it, for hitters, I can't stand when hitters don't have an approach, and anybody who's like real into baseball, they'll know what I mean when I say that. And Milwaukee yesterday, God, their plate approach the whole game was so frustrating to watch. What plate approach? They didn't have one at all, just behind in every single count.
And I think the Diamondbacks and Padres are two good teams with two good managers that will have approaches throughout the year. I think they're both. Well, I would say the Diamondbacks could be bet on early. I think Lovello is a good manager that could have these boys going early, like I said. Today, I think I'm going to have to stay off this game. Manaea is he's a good pitcher. He's a good pitcher. I don't think he's a top 2. I think he could be a championship 3rd or 4th pitcher for sure.
11-10 with the 3.91 ERA. He was good last year. Yeah. He's good. He's not a top pitcher.
Yeah, I need the Clevengers in the world to come back for the Padres here to make them a real contender again. So, I'm taking, if anything, in this game, I would take the under here, under 9. I think this will be a tight game because I think Merle Kelly is also a pretty good pitcher in his own right.
Well, how I was saying it was funny because I think Sharpie and I might attack games the same. One of the things as I was listening to him, I had exactly what he talked about written down about Kelly. He was 7-2 with a 2.63 ERA and 10. God, I can't talk. 10 career starts against the Padres, which that's a pretty good little track record right there.
Yeah, that's the numbers right there.
Yeah, those are some real numbers right there. 7-2 with the 2.63 ERA. I mean, seems like he has this team's number, right?
Yeah, I looked at the no-run first inning real quick, and it's -135 in this, so it's just a little too expensive for me. But I was going to lean that way, but just too much.
Yeah, and it's like I would kind of lean Diamondbacks here, but it's like, do you really trust the Diamondbacks to win 2 games in a row?
Right. Right. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Like I can't take them full game for sure. Let's do a little first five action. Let's look at the first five real quick. Let's do
There you go.
some on the fly. Plus a half is minus 125. And for the win is plus 105. Yeah, I can't do that. Can't do that. I don't know more.
They know.
For the one of the worst is going to be one of the worst teams in baseball. I cannot do that. Unfortunately, it'll be a pass for me. It's gonna be a fun game to watch. I would lean under. I'm not good at betting baseball totals yet. Transparency. I said this yesterday to Bovada. I think a lot of people bet baseball totals because I see them move all the time, a lot in the morning and the night. I would rather just stay off and get my feet under me for a little bit in these first week here. So
man, everybody bets differently, and it's like I've been giving out picks for months now. Anybody who's followed me knows, and I track them and I verify them on a third party. I don't do totals. I will probably with baseball simply because as a pitcher I kind of see it like that. But for college football and college basketball, I did sides, man. For me, it's personally easier to look into the matchups and the players. And when I look into matchups, I see sides more than I see totals.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly there. And let's hit the comments up real fast. By the way, Viral Videos adding a good question. Is this a live betting show? Well, we are going to do some live betting throughout the show this year when the spots arise. Like I said, I kind of been keeping my eye out on the games right now. It's 8-5 right now in Philadelphia. Don't want to bet on the A's. 2-1 right now. Game Baltimore Rays. Did not expect a pitching battle there. Have not been able to watch it at all. I'm going to go back and watch that game. I think it'll be fun to watch. Dodgers right now up 5-2. Of course they are. Not
to put you on the spot, Jose, but to answer what they were saying, and I'm not trying to plug this in, but I went live at 7:30 last night. I was thinking I might do it again tonight. You could come hang out sometime, and
absolutely. I love to come on and jump on, do some live betting.
Yeah.
And Viral, of course, we will do some live betting on this show. I can guarantee that.
He was with me.
Of course, and he watches Pub Sports Radio stuff all the time, so I appreciate him for watching. But we will do some live betting stuff for sure on the show. I just don't have any. I guess I don't. There's nothing that I like right now. I do keep an eye on it, like I said. And 2-1 Mariners at end of the sixth right now, and 3-0 for the Giants top six. So I will bet stuff live, like I was saying repeatedly over here again, but not tonight, unfortunately. But thanks for asking. I appreciate it. And by the way, technically, Moose Mooney is right. The first comments on this show was a live bet. It was Orioles plus 125, so I hope that cashes for him for sure. Yeah. I'm an advocate for betting on the Orioles early. I did not bet them. I have not bet them yet because of the Rays, essentially. But
they're one of the best teams, one of the best teams in history, starting.
Yeah, they're not broken down by being beat all year.
I didn't obviously take. I guess maybe I took too many notes. I didn't touch on even half of what I had. But the Rangers in the last 15 years, they are the worst opening day. They have the worst opening day record in the last 15 years.
Okay, well, there you go. I bet the Astros yesterday because they're one win away from tying the most consecutive wins on opening day. They had 9, now they have 10. So shout it out to them.
My first time to pitch at Tech was in the Texas tournament. It was against U of H at the Astros Stadium, Minute Maid Stadium.
Oh, I was going to say at Minute Maid. Did it have the hill though?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, good. If it had the hill, then you pitched in the real Minute Maid Stadium.
Yes.
I missed the hill.
Yes,
a lot.
That thing sucks so bad.
Shout out to everyone that was watching the show. We appreciate it. We'll go over our picks here in a second. But I wanted to shout out everyone that's watching. Groovy Caps, Crystal Warren, thank you for watching. As always, appreciate you and your Reds. Hope they come through today. Rodney Barton, thanks for watching the show. I appreciate you, my man. Real Deal Prime, Turnsy, and Nasty Nate, my Red Sox brother there. A lot of Blue Jays fans. A lot of Blue Jays fans, as Turnsy says, but a lot of Canadians, and we love it. We love it. Like I said, it might be a little rivalry. Who knows? It's going to be fun, those series. Big Show picks. Appreciate you, Big Show, as always, my producer brother in arms. Jimmy, thanks for watching. He went and got some food for the children, so he's going to go watch the Blue Jays season opener. Everyone excited about those Blue Jays. Would be a real shame if they floundered. Would be a real shame.
Man, they got a good lineup, man.
Of course, yeah. So, yeah, I shout out to everyone watching. We appreciate you guys. as always. Let's run down some picks here. And by the way, shout out to Chief. I think I'm not a good reader, so Chief is shout out to you. I think I was gonna call you Chief Keef at first.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Shout out to not that right, bro.
Everybody knows he's handling the war in the Ukraine right now. So
yeah, well, I mean, come on. All right, Cab. My iPad is over here frozen, so I can't get to my picks. I'd love for you to tell us first. You start us off.
Got you. So
and let me know that juice so I can make sure to write that shit down and we can do it.
Got you. Okay, so my first one, and we're not going over the ones we already gave out today, are we? Or
I mean, you can. Yeah, I'll go over mine that I've got going on right now.
Okay, so I started with the Boston plus a half a point, minus 110 in the first 5, and cashed that. Then the next one was the Phillies minus a half a point, minus 110 in the first 5, and cashed that.
Love that. Your first 5 fiend is what I'm realizing.
I'm not dealing with bullpens, man. I don't like bullpens as a starter, and I don't like. I mean, and I have thrown out of a bullpen, and I don't like throwing out of the bullpen. I don't like the bullpens. Fuck the bullpens, bro.
As a bullpen guy, it's pretty fucked up. It's pretty fucked up.
I mean, I threw out of the bullpen too some my freshman year, so it's like I get it. It's just God, I hate the bullpen. I hate the bullpen. I hate waiting for the call. Man, I got some stories I can tell you sometime. Like,
we will get those stories throughout the whole year too, because you'll be joining us a lot this year, and it's gonna be a great time. So we will get those stories too. Don't you worry about that, Cat.
Like when I had to warm up on the field in the 7th inning after we cleared benches with A&M on Friday night.
That'll be next, and stay tuned for next time when Cab tells a story about how he clears the benches.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got those 2 plays hit for you. What else?
Mets. I'm going with Mad Max there in the first 5. I'm trying not to say negative for Razor and Nut Flush because I guess that's a big no-no. Minus a half a point, minus 115. First 5 with the Mets. And then the last 2 plays, I took the no run at plus 111 in the first inning with the Rangers and Toronto. And then I took Toronto minus a half a point, minus 110 in the first five. Sorry.
Yes. We know your style. You're a first 5 fiend, man. First 5 fiend.
Yes,
put
sir.
it out. All right. I've got what I've got over here. I've got Boston money line plus 145. That unfortunately lost, but we've made up for it with the Boston team total over 3.5 minus 105 earlier today. That was nice. Seattle Mariners money line plus 100. I was betting on Robbie Ray and his extremely tight pants. Betting on him. Houston money line plus 100. And by the way, Cab, I forgot a play that I had written down here in the last game. I talked about that no run in the first inning and all that bullshit. I talked about how good those pitchers are.
Yeah.
I got San Diego, Arizona, first 5 under 4.5, minus 105.
There you go.
I forgot to mention. I fucking talked myself into it subconsciously. I say, oh, these pitchers are great. They're not going to give up many runs. I'll take the no run in the first inning. How about I just say no runs in the first 5? There we go. So I got that minus 105. So I'll say that one more time. Cab, you've got Mets first 5 minus a half, minus 115. You also have, I wrote that down twice. That's good. Good by me. You've also got Toronto first 5 minus a half, minus 110. And you took the no runs in the first inning, the most electric bet in all of betting, I'll say. No runs in the first inning. You love it. Well, you just got to get through the Blue Jays. You got that in the Rangers Blue Jays games plus 111. Thank you very much, Kat, for joining me. It was a pretty successful show, huh? How do you feel about your Pub Sports Radio virtual debut?
Man, you're the homie, man. I've always enjoyed talking to you. So I sitting here talking baseball with somebody who knows how to talk baseball. It's simple. I can do it for endless amounts of time. Like I said, I didn't even talk about half the stuff I wrote down.
Good. Yes. That's typically how it goes is what I've learned. That is typically how it goes. You prepare for hours. You've got all these cool stats. And then when you get in there, you just talk about whatever comes to mind. So that's it's going to be a great time. And I appreciate everyone for watching. Joshua Chipman, I love these kind of comments. These are the comments that fuel me. Actually kind of impressed with Jose on the show.
Man, can I address that really quick?
No, you cannot, because we've got to go, Cab.
Okay. All right.
We've got to go.
It was going to be a compliment, but
I know, because that's why I don't like your compliments, Cab. I'm just moving on from your compliments.
Okay, you want the fire. That's all it is, right?
Yes, I want the fire, and I want the picks, and I want the money.
Let's go.
Groovy Caps putting in a no-run first inning in the Mets. Crystal
good.
Warren, she says, I have Nets, but she means Nats. Nats first 5 team and the Reds team total over, and he'll probably bet Toronto team or first 5 too. The Billy Brisbane, shout out to you, Billy. Billy had a play earlier today. I forgot it was a -110, but I forgot what it was. I wrote it down too.
White Sox first 5. That's what he cashed.
Oh, beautiful. So there you go. White Sox first 5. I like that play a lot too. And I'm a big Lucas Giolito guy too. I've got him to win the Cy Young. So appreciate that. Shout out to Moose Money, aka Moses Moody. Appreciate you as always, my man. Hope to see you guys on here tomorrow. And I saw someone, Puzzler, actually. Thank you, Puzzler, for asking this. Appreciate you. You're my man here, Puzzler. Am I going to be on tomorrow morning? Yes. Cab, remind me. Is tomorrow Saturday?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tomorrow is Saturday, so we will be on early in the morning, 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central. We will be breaking down every single game that day.
I'm going to listen and enjoy that. I'm not capping it to be on the show. I love capping to be on the show, but I'm just giving you crap because you got a huge card in front of you.
No, it's a large card. It's a large card, and we've got another debut coming in. My man, the Spin Doctor. And I only know him as the Spin Doctor. I forgot his real name. I DM'd him on Twitter a long time ago. I gave him some websites, and he turned into the Spin Doctor. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. He took the spin rates, he puts them in graphs, he does all these mathematical data that I can't fucking do because
he's a big analytics guy.
Fuck yeah, he is. And I love it. I love that shit. Inject that shit right here into my veins. So we're going to have the Spin Doctor 2 on tomorrow. He's going to break down the whole card with me. I can't wait. It's going to be a fun time too. Appreciate everyone for watching. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Like I said, we'll be here. Hold on. Got a flash to say hey counter one more time, apparently. We'll be here every single day this season. I've been here now twice.
Yeah. Man, thanks for having me on. Second show too.
Yes.
Sports Radio, you got the best chat, man.
Of course. We've been here twice. Cab, welcome on for the first time. First of many. I can't wait. There we go. Gotta get that out. There we go. I had to get that out. I feel better now. Thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate everyone. Real Deal Drimes, Benjamin Mills, Spin Doc is fire. Turnsy, of course. Everyone, thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. And until then, see you guys.